Well, good afternoon, everyone. So, of course, this Cleveland wonderful weather has gotten us to shift a little bit. We want to thank everybody for coming here. My name is Stephanie Howse-Jones, and I have the honor of serving as the councilwoman for Cleveland's Ward 7. And we are here today to talk about Universal Basic Employment, UBE, a guaranteed jobs initiative that we are rolling out here in the city of Cleveland. And I have my fellow men colleagues with me to just talk about how we have this partnership, with just the city, Cleveland City Council, of course, an investment and partnering with the United Way of Greater Cleveland, as well as the Universal Basic Employment Organization. And so how did we get here? I always just want to start to say, in my previous life, which is crazy to think it's only been 2.5 years, in my previous life, I served as a state representative for Ohio's House District 11, which it was the poorest district in the state. And when you look just historically, when you go all the way back to Troy Lee James times, for people who are politically astute, understand, and even from those days when the Honorable Troy Lee James served, it was always the poorest district in the state. And now we are in 2024. We hear the statistics about Cleveland and generational poverty, and COVID happened, and a lot of things were happening and having conversations. And to understand just historically, government has played a role in the conditions that people are living, right? There have been intentional and unintentional policies that have kept people down. And when this proposition of a guaranteed jobs program, when Devin and I have been talking over the years and having the opportunity with ARPA, once in a lifetime funding, to try something different to change this trajectory, I just thought, and I really wanted to push forward. And I'm so very grateful that Council President Griffin, as well as in partnership with Mayor Bibb, said yes, and we are embarking on this journey together. The people of Cleveland deserve it, and hopefully people will listen to hear what we are proposing, but I know this is going to be absolutely amazing for our city, and we will be able to work with our county, state, and federal partners to show what an investment can do when we invest in people at the beginning and not wait until everything has not connected for them to just maintain and keep the status quo. So again, I want to introduce and pass it off to Mayor Justin Bibb to just talk about how this is all coming together and the support of the administration. Mayor?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give Councilwoman Stephanie Howse-Jones a round of applause if we can. She has a deep passion for innovative public policy solutions. And I remember in the first few months of my administration, we were exploring how to create a universal basic income program. And Councilwoman Howse-Jones made me aware of Devin's research and his expertise in going to the next level, creating universal basic employment programs. And they made the case to me, and I felt it was a compelling case for us to make. And I think this work is a natural evolution of the UBI work that's been happening across the country, because not only did Dr. King talk about a guaranteed income, but he talked about a guaranteed job. And as the second poorest big city in the country, if we can do our part to make sure that every Clevelander has access to a high-wage job, then we're moving the needle in the right direction. And so I believe this UBE program is the right step. The time is now, and it also aligns with two important policies that we've worked together on, both at City Council and in my administration. One, our $50 million site fund for good jobs, which is taking 1,000 acres of vacant brownfield land and trying to convert those brownfield sites into shovel-ready sites to attract and retain good jobs for the future. Also, this aligns to the great work that Council President Griffin led with our brand new community benefits agreement as well too. And so with these two policies, as well with UBE, we are moving in the right direction to make sure Cleveland is putting people back to work and creating real wealth in our neighborhood. So thanks so much for allowing me to be a part of this special event, Councilwoman Howse-Jones. And now I'll pass the baton to our Council President, Blaine Griffin. Blaine.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And I want to echo what Mayor Bibb said, that Stephanie Howse-Jones really led this effort. And the first thing you have to do on Cleveland City Council is you have to come and make sure that you sell the council president and your colleagues on these kind of initiatives, and work closely with the administration, because the administration is a partner whenever we're working on these kind of issues. So I really want to commend Councilwoman Howse-Jones for really taking the task of doing this, because since my first day as president of Cleveland City Council, I've said that we're going to do everything we can to care for the people of the city of Cleveland. I also said that we're going to be first, we're going to be the best, and we're going to be different. This meets all of that criteria. Taking care of people, doing something innovative, being a leader, and being special, doing something different that's going to take care of people. So I'm honored and humbled that council is really going to be a part of this. I also see that my colleague Rebecca Marr is here, and she's welcome to join us if she can. We just jump in when we're at council. It's all 17 of us. But collectively, we're investing in Clevelanders. And, you know, one of the things that I ask myself every morning, who is government supposed to serve? We serve wealthy, we serve middle class, which most of the time from the federal, state, and local level, people focus on the middle class. But oftentimes left out in that proposition is poor people. And as I look to the left and look at the root causes of all of the things that the United Way works with, I see one of the things on there is poverty, and really addressing poverty with a collaborative effort between the administration, Cleveland City Council, United Way, and of course Devin and the work he's doing around UBE is definitely something this city should be cheering for today. Today we get to shine a light on this innovative program. This program will provide Cleveland an opportunity to be at the forefront. We're tired for being on too many firsts in poverty and so many other factors. The way that black women are in the city of Cleveland, which to Councilwoman Howse-Jones credit as well. We created the first Black Women and Girls Commission. And all of this ties together. We want to be trailblazers. We want to be first in being an innovator. We want to be first in making sure that we do something for a lot of other people. And we're doing something about it with this UBE. I also want to make sure that Devin Cotton gets a lot of credit. He's been working closely with us, so thank you, Devin, for all of the work that you've done. And then I also want to make sure that I acknowledge and invite her up, my other colleague that just made it in, Deborah Gray, the Councilwoman for Ward 4. At the end of the day, we're leading this program, and ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to bring up the next person that's working with us, Ken Surratt. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council President Griffin, and all the council members that are here, Gray, Mauer, Howse-Jones, Mayor Bibb, Devin. We recognize that poverty in our region stems from systemic barriers. And we also know that to change this, we also have to give new solutions to the old problems a chance, and particularly those that get to those root causes that the Council President just mentioned. At United Way, through innovative approaches and strategic partnerships, we're working to dismantle existing barriers to make it easier for people to build income in this community. Working across sectors, and the team here assembled here today is a great reflection of that. We have the collective ability to make true change within this community. United Way supports promising ideas coming from the community, and universal basic employment is an innovative approach that was mentioned, aimed at building income and wealth. And our goal is to make a more equitable and prosperous community for all Clevelanders. We're very excited to participate in this groundbreaking 2-year research and design process alongside Devin Cotton. And we really hope to get a greater understanding of what secured income and meaningful employment, how that impacts a person's trajectory, their wealth trajectory. And we really are happy that Cleveland is the place that is giving birth to this innovative program. So what is United Way doing? We're providing fiscal sponsorship for UBE. So this includes availability of our office space, administrative support, marketing, communications, as well as fundraising. We really want to make sure that this planning phase begins immediately and ends with a successful pilot. So now let me turn it over to Devin Cotton, the founder and CEO of Universal Basic Employment, who has been working tirelessly to get this off the ground. So Devin, congrats.
Thank you, Ken. Hi to everyone, and thank you for coming today. Today is a public acknowledgement of a journey that we set out on 2 years ago with some help of some really great friends to demonstrate that our country can eliminate poverty, not create pathways to alleviate some burdens or make poverty more comfortable, but prove what it would mean for every individual, family, small business, and neighborhood in our country can truly have enough money to buy a house, enough employees to start the workday, and enough investment in our neighborhoods to make it a neighborhood of choice. Over the next 2 years, with the help of Cleveland City Council, the Bibb administration, the United Way of Greater Cleveland, and 14 of Cleveland's most dynamic leaders, we will build out the nation's first universal basic employment pilot. By subsidizing the salary and employment at $50,000 for 100 under and unemployed Clevelanders for 3 years, we will prove what it means to shift government's investments from solving the symptoms of poverty to dignifying historically low wage work, reinvigorating local tax bases, and changing the ways our community can look. Our team will develop the evaluation metrics, infrastructure, and project supports needed to put $15 million directly into the hands of Cleveland residents and small businesses. I want to thank Councilwoman Howse-Jones for spearheading this legislation, Jeff Resby and Joy Johnson for being constant and dedicated partners in this work, Mayor Bibb, Council President Griffin, for their support, and the United Way of Greater Cleveland for their partnership in social innovation. The city of Cleveland has been the first to do many things. We're going to be the first city to demonstrate what it means to end poverty. Thanks.
So there you have it. So now we will be happy to take any questions that people may have.
I got a question for Devin. Sorry, over here.
Devin can't talk right now. I'm just kidding.
Can you help us? I know right now you're looking at just getting this off the ground, getting
Yep.
what you need to get started.
Yes.
What happens after that 3 years as we're looking towards sustainability for all those people who now have taken jobs? How do you keep it going?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we're thinking constantly about today and tomorrow. The reality of the situation is that through 3 years of demonstrated work history, we know through 3 years of demonstrated work history without the burdens of poverty, people are going to change from a social capital standpoint. People are going to change from a hard and technical skills standpoint. What we have baked into the pilot is a re-credentialing stipend to ensure that people have the resources available to them to reimagine what the next step of their life looks like. Again, this is a 3-year pilot to ensure that we can have some research at the end to know that we're going to advocate for those state and federal pieces of policy, but also wanting to make sure that people are able to sunset this pilot in a safe manner. Councilwoman Howse-Jones told me very early on into our conversation, we can't elevate folks up to $50,000 and drop them back down to zero for the basis of research. And so making sure that we have the supports in place, and that's what this 2-year research and development phase is for, to ensure that we have the right supports in place so that we can sunset this pilot in a safe way.
And then there's often conversation about a related idea, universal basic income.
Mm-hmm.
Why go for employment and not just sort of giving people money as a floor of what they make?
Yeah, I think we consider UBE and UBI complementing pieces of legislation and policy to think about. There's guarantees that should be not tied to work, and there should be guarantees tied to work. I think for a city like Cleveland, where a third of its residents and half of its children are living in poverty, tying a solution to work was so important to us. We know that an earned income is the gold standard for agency in our country. And so being able to ensure that even in spite of the benefits cliff, in spite of the low wages, we know Clevelanders continue to get up and go to work every single day. So being able to provide refuge and safety for that effort was so important for us.
I want to ask a question to Cleveland leaders, whoever would like to respond. I think it's maybe the mayor can answer, or perhaps Griffin. What else is Cleveland doing to create create sustainable jobs for people in the city?
Well, I can add, and certainly I'm sure the council president and Councilwoman Howse-Jones and other members of council can chime in. As I said before, the work we're doing around our $50 million site fund for good jobs is a key part of that, because one of the major pain points we see now is many companies either want to come to Northeast Ohio and Cleveland or expand in our city. But the biggest challenge is the fact that we don't have shovel-ready land ready to go. So this site fund is also a key part of addressing that. And then secondly, to my earlier comments about the community benefits agreement, being able to make sure we're incentivizing good quality job growth through our new CBA will go a long way to addressing that on both a short and long-term basis as well. Council President.
I also want to ask, why invest so much money in something that is brand new? Why invest taxpayer dollars in something that is innovative?
Because we have many generations of a lot of investment in things that are not working. This is again, when you look at the results, look around Cleveland. We have so many neighborhoods where the government has invested millions, probably billions of dollars, only to end right now where Cleveland is the second poorest city in the nation. We must do something better, and we believe this is an option and an opportunity for us to have some research and demonstrate what can be done differently if we invest some of the current dollars the government is already investing beforehand to get a different result.
And I'll just add, in addition to what the mayor said around a robust community benefits agreement, we put $10 million into an effort to build up the built environment, to work with Jobs Ohio and others to really try to increase the workforce through construction. As of today at Case Western Reserve at 5 o'clock, myself and Councilman Kevin Conwell are hosting a job fair where we're trying to build up that built environment. In addition to that, we put a significant amount of money, as Councilwoman Howse says, into development and other things in the city of Cleveland. It's time to do some things different. It's time to try some different strategies. And when Councilwoman Howse showed me how we can build upon this and how we can really try to show this effort as a model and then really try to show a success, then we believe that we can get some of the private investment, the philanthropic investment, and the nonprofit support that we want to get as well. So government always is asked to take the first step and the first leap. And then we believe in taking that first step and that first leap, we will have the building blocks that will come along with it.
All right. Thank you all so much and have a blessed day.